Hello everyone, this is Dane Game and I hope you're all having a great day today. We're going to talk about some Infinite Warfare again today because it does not get any sort of hate when you talk about it online. So please, before you go and dislike this video, just hear me out. This is, we don't have any actual hard numbers yet of how many games or how many editions of the game Infinite Warfare has sold. But this will be using some numbers reported given out by Activision. We're going to do some rough estimates of how many versions of the game and how many editions of the game Infinite Warfare has sold so far. This information is actually of 3 days after launch. That's typically when developers, at least for Call of Duty, release their sales numbers and how much money they brought in. So we're going to use that money, the 550 million, which is how much Black Ops 3 sold, and Infinite Warfare was down by 50% from that. So we're going to do some division here, some math here to figure out how many roughly editions of Infinite Warfare they have sold. So we're going to get straight into it. If you want to go, I'll have the links to both of these sources down below. Polygon back in 2015, 3 days after launch, said that Black Ops 3 had brought in $550 million after the first 3 days again. So this is not players, this is not how many editions of the game were sold, this is merely just how much money it is. So let's do some rough math here. So Eurogamer reported 3 days after Infinite Warfare that sales were down by 48.5% for Black Ops 3. So then, if you want to do some math here, 48.5% of 550 million is about 266,750,000. Then we can take about 2/3 of that, we'll say. 2/3 of the player base playing Infinite Warfare bought the Legacy Edition. So we're going to take 2/3 times 266,750,000, and that will get us 177,833,333. And then we take that price and we take that number and divide that by the Legacy Edition price of $79.99, and we get 2,223,194, and that's roughly how many owners of the Legacy Edition there are. So again, it's saying that 2/3, supposing that 2/3 of the player base bought the Legacy Edition. Of course, we don't know that. This is just my guess because I'm gonna assume most people that bought it were buying the going for the Legacy Edition to get Modern Warfare Remastered. So then we have that number, and then we're going to go back up to our original number of 266 million, excuse me, and we're going to take 1/3 of that, saying that 1/3 bought only the standard edition of the game. So we're going to say that 266,750 times 1/3, that will get us 88,916,666 roughly. It's a repeating decimal, but we'll just go along with it. So we take that 88 million number and we divide that by 59.99, which is the price of the standard edition, and that will get us 1,482,191. That's how many owners of the standard edition there are roughly. Again, saying that 1/3 bought that edition. And then we take, and then there was another edition that cost 120 or so, I think, for the season pass, but we're not going to include that just for the sake of numbers and math. It's hard. So then we take the two numbers that we have, owners of the Legacy Edition and the Standard Edition, and then that will give us roughly 3,715,385 total owners of Infinite Warfare. Again, this is just a very rough estimate, just after the first 3 days of launch. But then that's not too great. It's not terrible. It's not great. It's not great at all. But it's definitely not as bad as it could be, I guess. So we'll take that number and we'll do some comparisons here. So I went on VG charts and I found the launch weekend of a couple other big games. So we're going to start off with Battlefield 1. Battlefield 1 on week 1 sold across Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC about $2,829,525, or excuse me, addition to the game. So that's definitely better. Infinite Warfare is doing better than that. This is again after week 1 of both these games. All of the games I'm going to have in here after week 1. So it's doing better than Battlefield 1, not by too much, only by 900,000, which I mean, I guess is a lot, but it should be much more than that if you think about it, considering how big a game, how big a franchise the Call of Duty industry is. Then we can take Gears of War 4 after just week 1, sold 622,845 editions of the game, and that was just on Xbox One. This is not on PlayStation 4, it's not on PC, or it is on PC, but you have to buy the Xbox edition of it, I believe. So if you take that, it's a lot considering it was only on one console. Then we can also take FIFA 17, another big sports game. On week 1, FIFA 17 sold 7,015,699 versions of the game. This also includes Xbox 360 and PS3, but then again, there wasn't as much sold on those consoles, and that's about twice the number of people that bought Infinite Warfare. We can also look at Halo 5 on that week 1. That sold 1,535,818. Again, that was only on Xbox One as well. So that sold about a third, or a little over a third of the numbers of Infinite Warfare, and that was only on one console. And then lastly, for this comparison, we can look at Black Ops 3. Black Ops 3 on week 1 sold 6,280,397. That is a significant gap between those two games. Again, you can make of these numbers whatever you want, and it's also important to know that this does not include Black Friday. Again, I just want to stress that. There's only the first 3 days, but then again, these numbers on the comparison part are all after week 1 sales, so it's about relatively the same time period, and that is looking pretty bad for Infinite Warfare, considering how big a franchise it is. It did sell a lot of games, but it should have sold a lot more than it did so far, especially relative to the competition out there. And the fact that it was on sale for $1 at GameStop was just laughable. Anyway, you can make of these numbers again whatever you want. This is just me throwing some information out there. Once again, I hope you're all having a great day today. I'll try to have some more videos coming up in the next week or so. School is a fucking bitch, as you can imagine. But with that, I will see you all in the next video. Peace.